Hey, what's going on, Who That Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And good morning to you. Hope everybody's having a good morning so far. Good evening, a good night. But I'm mentioning morning because it is morning here in Hemingway, South Carolina. And as y'all can see, I'm at the studio this morning. So I did want to talk a little bit about the New Orleans Saints, get some Saints, comments out of the way. Also to talk a little bit about the Saints' first padded training camp that they're going to have this year. Today is the start of a padded training camp. For those that may not know what padded training camp means, that means that the Saints are going to put on the pads today. So you're going to see some guys dumping into one another or hear about guys dumping into one another. And hopefully it doesn't end with anybody that we really need and really count on sustaining any type of injuries. Now, we do understand that injuries do occur when the pads do come on, but it also gives us a look and also gives us an idea about guys that are trending in the right direction. And it's also an opportunity for you to kind of trim the fat, if you will, on guys that may not be up to snuff. So a lot of storylines coming out of Saints training camp right now. One is Ryan Ramczyk. Ryan Ramczyk got his knee scoped in the offseason. He talked a little bit about that. He says it's not going to affect anything this season. And we really need Ryan Ramczyk. I mean, y'all hear me talk about Ryan Ramczyk all the time. He's probably one of my top 5 favorite players on this Saints team. You know, Ryan Ramczyk is a guy that doesn't play at a sexy position. You know, like unless you really are into offensive linemen, you don't really pay attention to Ryan Ramczyk and what he actually brings to the table. But he is arguably, it's not arguably to me, but it's arguably that he is one of the best pure right tackles in all of football. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely, hands down. Okay, so the fact that he had to get any surgery is alarming, but at the same time, you know, I know that Ryan Ramczyk is going to be at 100% and ready to rock and roll, no doubt about it. And I'm excited about that. I also want to say thank you to everybody that's in the chat right now. I see Tony and I see Ann in the chat as of right now. And I'm going to be taking some of your questions, for a little while. And we're also going to be talking about training camp. So if you have any questions about training camp or you want to make any comments about training camp, feel free to do so. This is a big week for the State of the Saints podcast. So tomorrow we have Delvin Bro, who is going to be on the State of the Saints podcast on Tuesday. And on Wednesday, we got the writer for the Athletic and Saints reporter, Jeff Duncan, will be on the show. And we might have Saints offensive lineman Jermaine Bushride on the show as well. I've been talking and having conversations with him, trying to set up a time where we can actually get an interview together. So if that doesn't happen this week, it's definitely going to happen next week. Jam-packed week for the State of the Saints podcast, so you might want to keep it right here. And if you can't, then, feel free to always come back and check out the videos that we put out. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get started here. We got Chosen. Chosen says, "Who that, TJ? I'm looking forward to a good practice. I see we have to cut down to 53 players by September the 4th. So hopefully these guys can lay it all on the line because at this point, we need dogs who's coming to ball." Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I think that's a good assessment, Chosen. We definitely need some guys that can go out there and ball and can contribute in a big way. There's a lot of unanswered questions at positions that the Saints need to fill. I think one that we all can agree on is the wide receiver position, who is going to be a part of that wide receiver rotation. The Saints normally carry about 6 wide receivers, but, due to the fact of COVID-19 and guys could possibly end up on a COVID-19 list, you might want to carry about 7 or 8. So this might be a great opportunity for some guys to actually get some action this season. Normally, once again, the Saints carry about 6 wide receivers in their rotation. They're probably going to have to carry a few more. So this can be a good opportunity for a lot of young guys out there that's trying to make the team. Tro says, "TJ, you are the hardest working man in the Who Dat Nation." I mean, man, I appreciate that, but I don't agree with that too much. I just try to give you all the best content I possibly can. I'm relentless when it comes to it, man. I'm passionate about what I do. I mean, there's no secret to what I want to do and where I want to be as far as a sports personality. For those that have been following me, I often say I want to be the greatest. I want to be the best of all time. I want to be mentioned among the greats. How we talk about Buddy D, and we talk about the great Frank Davis, and we talk about some of those other radio personalities that were synonymous with the city of New Orleans. I want to be one of those individuals. So I won't stop at nothing to make that happen. But I do want to give you all the best content possible. I want to give you all the best content possible so you all can have conversations. So that's what I try to do. But thank you, man. I appreciate that. Nola says correct that all four quarterbacks. My bad. I'm sorry. Let me see, Nola. You might have asked the question before. Oh, okay. You said carry all three quarterbacks. Well, I think the Saints gonna do that anyway. The Saints always, for the last couple of years, been carrying three quarterbacks because of the addition of Taysom Hill and his Swiss Army knife type role. So you're going to get guys, that are, part of the rotation at quarterback. You're going to need a backup, right? You're going to need the starter, the backup, and you're going to need Taysom to do his thing. So they're definitely going to be carrying three. We know that Tommy Stevens moved to the tight end position, so he's not a quarterback as of right now anymore. But I'm pretty sure the Saints are probably going to use him. I can see Sean Payton calling some type of trick play where Tommy Stevens throws the ball. I don't know if it's going to be this season, but it might be down the line if he ends up staying with the team. Let's see. Aaron says, I'm looking at the potential continue of legacy of the MC number 12. The undrafted free agent Marquez Callaway looks like he's going to be working towards punt returns to give Devontae Harris more time with the offense. I don't know how accurate that is, Aaron. I don't think that the Saints are using that as their primary focus if they were to sign Marquez Callaway, because, Deontay Harris does an outstanding job on special teams, and that is his bread and butter. You didn't see somebody like, Devin Hester when he came out of the University of Miami. He was running back all those kicks in his rookie season. You didn't see the Chicago Bears say, well, we want to try to transition him to receiver, so we're going to get this other guy to come in return. Nah, man. If he's good at what he does, you keep him back there. And this guy's a game changer, man. This guy is a field flipper. It is hard to find guys that can flip the field like this. You got to go back to Devin Hester. You got to go back to Devin Hester in order for you to talk about a guy that was just that dangerous and can flip the field like this. Marquez Callaway, if he does make the team, it definitely would be on special teams. But it's also going to be the fact that the Saints see something in him that they can actually utilize, rather it be in the screen game, rather it be, in that alternate punt and kick return role. But it's not going to be because Deontay Harris is stepping up as a receiver. The Saints count on him too much. I know y'all seen that 49ers game, man, when he was returning kicks, and he was flipping the field. That's what kind of dynamic Deontay Harris have. And I'm pretty sure that if you've been following the Saints for the past decade, good return men don't grow on trees, because before Deontay Harris returned that punt against the Seattle Seahawks, I think you got to go back to Marcus Murphy or something like that, returning a touchdown back in the day. So, this guy brings an interesting dynamic. You definitely don't want to lose that on special teams. Let's see. Let's move on here. Let's see. Is Stevens Taysom Hill 2.0? Is he strictly a quarterback? Josh, no. He is not a quarterback anymore, man. He wears the number 85. I know I put a picture on the State of the Saints podcast Facebook page, and he was wearing the number 1. But that was because he was a quarterback at the time. But the Saints had a conversation with him late on in that day. As a matter of fact, that day when he took that picture, the Saints, talked to him and asked him would he consider moving a tight end. And he decided to do so. So I don't know if he's going to be Taysom Hill 2.0, because Taysom Hill is a quarterback. I think we can, say that he is, even though he really doesn't throw the ball that much. His position is a quarterback, But Thomas Stevens, I mean, he has made the full transition to tight end. I mean, he's number 85 now, so that tell you everything you need to know. Brian says we have to run Latavius Murray more this year. Yeah, I agree with that. I think we need to use Latavius Murray a whole lot more. I feel like they need to have a good balance when it comes to the rushing attack. I think about the combination back in the day for the New York Football Giants of Ahmad Bradshaw and Brandon Jacobs. I think you have that type of dynamic when it comes to Kamara and Latavius Murray. You have thunder and lightning. You have a guy that is big and physical like Latavius Murray, and you have a guy that's a shifty guy and also can run between the tackles and Alvin Kamara. I look at the way that the Giants used to run the football with Jacobs and Bradshaw, and I can see the Saints doing the same thing. The problem is I don't know if Sean Payton is committed to the run to a point where he would just completely, uptick the amount of carries these two guys get. It's unfortunate. It's sad. But hopefully, he gets some carries this season, man, so we can see what he really has. I think he has a lot. Chemo says, don't be surprised if Jameis gets a few snaps against the Bucs. Sean does it all the time when players visit their old team. Could be wrong, though. Well, Chemo, excuse me. I agree with you. We've seen this before. We've seen Teddy Bridgewater. Being a game against the Minnesota Vikings when they had all three quarterbacks out there at the same time. We seen Sean Payton do that. We seen when Jeremy Shockey went back to New York, Sean Payton put some packages together for him. Now, we have seen in cases where, players went back to their former team and Sean Payton didn't use them. Case in point, Adrian Peterson in week 1 against the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, he started off with a 9-yard gain, and then we don't see him no more for the rest of the game. And it got heated to a point where Adrian Peterson gave him that look on the sidelines, which caused him to get traded to the Arizona Cardinals. So it's not always the fact, but I do feel like he's probably going to put him in a game for a player to, just out of spite, and also to let Jameis Winston get his so-called revenge on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's see. Cowboys got the DN that I thought the Saints would get, but it was I don't know, man. Like I don't know if Everson Griffin would have ended up with the Saints or not. I don't know what happened with that. All I know is that was a crazy decision. I understand the Dallas Cowboys. They're one of the highest grossing, if not the most highest grossing franchise in all of sports. I understand that they're always on primetime television. But let's just be honest about this. For the last couple of years, the Saints have been better than the Dallas Cowboys. If you would ask Vegas who has the better chance of going to the Super Bowl this season, they will tell you the New Orleans Saints. I think you look at the fact that this guy is 32 years old. I think you look at the fact that you don't have many games left. You might want to put yourself in that position to cement your legacy by going after a Lombardi trophy. And if that was the case, I would try to go to the best team that gives me the best opportunity to make that dream a reality. And I don't feel like the Dallas Cowboys are the team that will make that dream a reality. I mean, for the last 26 years, the Dallas Cowboys have not made it to the Super Bowl. I mean, they got about 3 playoff wins in that stretch, and not that much consistency at the quarterback position. No disrespect to Dak Prescott or Tony Romo. I mean, it's just facts. So you have a quarterback that's headed to the Hall of Fame in Drew Brees. You have a great running back, potentially great, and Alvin Kamara. You got a great wide receiver in Michael Thomas. You got a good wide receiver in Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, you got all these things going for you. Why wouldn't you want to come and contribute to a team and be that missing piece? You know what I'm saying? And be that piece that the team needs in order for them to make it over the hump. So I don't get it, but, I mean, I'm glad he got a job at the end of the day because I like Everson Griffin. Brandon says, do you believe that Marquez Callaway will beat out Trequan Smith for the third wide receiver position? Brandon, no, I don't. Not that Marquez Callaway isn't talented. I think we all can agree that he is talented. And if you've been watching the SEC, you've been watching the University of Tennessee, man. I mean, not too much football, you know what I'm saying? Not too much great quarterback play has been taking place in Tennessee. And people like that kind of struggles because of it. I mean, that's the reason why the Saints end up finding Alvin Kamara. And Marquez Callaway, he plays with a level of swag. He plays with a level of confidence. He plays with a level of determination that I feel like Trequan Smith doesn't have. That's a plus. But the one thing that Trequan Smith has over Marquez Callaway is he has 3 seasons in the Saints offense. And you look at the fact that there's no OTAs, no mini camp, no rookie mini camp, and you're basically interacting with the coaching staff in your rookie season via a virtual message. I mean, it's going to be hard for you, you know. So Trequan Smith has the advantage over Marquez Callaway. Marquez is going to have to blow it out of the water to a point where it just insurmountable that Trequan Smith can catch up as far as him being in that position. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Saints are going to use Trequan Smith. I think Trequan Smith is going to transition to the outside because that's his primary position. He played it since college. I think he struggled in a slot because he's not a slot receiver. And the fact that Emmanuel Sanders is probably going to take up the majority of the snaps in the slot, it slides Trequan Smith on the outside, and it helps Trequan be able to utilize what brought him to the dance, which is his speed and his ability to get behind a cornerback. So I do feel like Trequan has the advantage due to the fact that he's been in the system. Aaron says, on the defensive side of the ball, undrafted free agent Joe Bachie out of Michigan State, I'm confident will have a Ryan Ramczyk type of effect either this year or next year if either Alonzo or Azzaloni gets injured. Key Washington battling against P.J. Williams will also be interesting. Aaron, yeah, those are some good points right there. You make a very interesting point when it comes to Joe Bachie. Joe Bachie was a 4-year starter at Michigan State. He was a guy that came in to Michigan State. He climbed the ranks. He was a team captain going into his senior season. I don't know what really happened. I don't know why he was an undrafted free agent. I mean, the guy has everything that you need. He reminds me of a classic New England Patriot type linebacker. You know, a guy is not going to wow you with his speed. A guy that's not going to wow you, like with his sideline to sideline. But one thing that he does do is he gives you a lot of heart. And he's an instinctive player, and he's a good short tackler, and that's something that the Saints actually need, And Joe Bachie is probably going to be rough for him because, like I said, just like Callaway, I mean, you're coming in. I mean, you're a blank sheet of paper right now. So I think he's going to make his claim to fame on special teams, and hopefully, if you make it on special teams, things happen, right? I mean, you mentioned it, Aaron. People get hurt. People. End up falling in the middle of the season. I mean, we seen Alonzo. We seen Azzaloni. I mean, we seen Caden Ellis. I mean, we seen these guys go down. So this is a great opportunity for him. And, I mean, just because you're playing on special teams don't mean you're not going to get any reps as a starter because we all know that the linebackers, for the exception of Demario Davis, are kind of fragile. Ray said, TJ, my one-year-old wanted to know. What are your thoughts on that? Well, I don't speak that, Ray, but I do have a 1-year-old son who probably can translate that for you. You know what I'm saying? Like every now and then he'll make an appearance on the State of the Saints podcast. My son Paxton, the Packy Man Jones, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, he probably would be better to translate that for me. You know what I'm saying? It'll probably be him or the CIA. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they can decode that, but I can't. So I'm gonna ask them once I get him from daycare this evening. Can he translate that for me? And hopefully I have an answer for you. VB says, hey TJ, do you know if the Saints plan to stream any of the padded practices? I know they showed the quarterback challenges, but that's not really practice. Not many reporters will be on the field streaming. VB, looking at a couple of tweets coming from Jeff Duncan, coming from Nick Underhill, who is very excited. I mean, y'all heard him on the show, man. It seemed like he lost his best friend. You know what I'm saying? The fact that he couldn't be at the facility, man. I mean, I'm just playing with you, Nick. But I just feel like, they can't come to practice and stuff like that if they pass coronavirus protocol, which it seems like they have. Nick has a pass and everything like that, so they're able to be on the field. Now, filming or streaming, I'm not sure about that. So you're probably going to have to just keep it locked, and whoever your favorite reporter is, who that is, Canals 3 Chronicles, whoever you follow, they're probably going to have the story about who was the highlight and who was the low lights. You know what I'm saying? So you might want to just keep it locked right there. But streaming, I'm not sure about that. I don't know how many people are going to be in the facility. We all know they're practicing social distancing, so that might be an issue as well. So, I mean, I don't know about filming, but I definitely know there's going to be some reporters there at practice today. Debo, the guy says Saints need to get a legit slot wide receiver. Peyton needs to get off the Prozac. Debo, they actually have one. His name is Emmanuel Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders is a slot receiver, even though he can play on the outside and he can run all the routes. He's primarily he is a slot receiver primarily. So he has been a slot receiver most of his career. So the Saints do have a good slot receiver now. So hopefully Emmanuel Sanders kind of solves that problem that you've been searching for answers for. Chemo says not since Peyton Manning. I don't know what we mean by not by Peyton Manning. I must have missed that. VB says, by the way, that man said his name was Marquez, not Marquise, Marquez, just saying. Okay, if his name is Marquez, I'll call him Marquez, okay? But, I mean, I don't know. It's spelled Marquez, so I'm sorry. Anybody that you meet, they're going to be, if you spell it that way, somebody going to call him Marquez. So I call him Marquez. But since he's Marquez, I'll call him Marquez. Anybody can beat out Trequan Smith right now, honestly. No separation, no speed, and no good catches. I don't want to say he don't have no good catches because he catches some passes, man. There'd be some tough passes too. But he does have speed. Like I said, Debo, the problem is he plays in a slot which he's not comfortable with playing. I think if you move him to the outside, now that Ted Ginn Jr. is going, you might be able to get some production out of him. So, I mean, I guess we'll see. But, if he doesn't do anything this season, I think we can pretty much say it was a failure. Brandon says, who do you think gets paid first by the Saints? Ryan Ramczyk, Marshawn Lattimore, Marcus Williams, Alvin Kamara, or Demario Davis in 2021? Well, first you pay Ryan Ramczyk because you need your offensive line. Then you pay Alvin Kamara, then Lattimore, then Demario Davis. Notice I didn't say Marcus Williams because the jury's still out on him. And if you checked out the State of the Saints podcast on yesterday or last night, he was the topic of conversation. And like I said, will the real Marcus Williams please stand up? We don't know who he is. I mean, 1 minute he looking like he the next coming of a solid safety, and the next thing he looking like the lowercase goat. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. So in that order, that's who I would pay. And leaving out Marcus Williams. TJ, do you have a guess who would be the fourth designated projected player for the practice squad? No, I don't. I really don't have. I really don't know. I can't tell you. I'm thinking like Tommy Stevens. Let's see, Marquez Callaway. Probably going to be Joe Bachie, and maybe they're probably going to have the offensive lineman. Offensive lineman out of Oregon, the guy that Christian Garrett was excited about. But those are probably the four guys that I can think of right offhand. Jerry, what's going on, man? Appreciate you stopping by. Aaron says, I read that the Saints will be extremely over the cap next offseason. How badly do you think they'll hit us when it comes time to pay our critical players like Ramczyk, Lattimore, Davis, etc.? I'm not concerned about it at all, Aaron. What we have seen is that Mickey Loomis is a cap wizard. The way that he can make money just come out of nowhere when you think that you absolutely broke is absolutely. Excuse me, my bad. My camera went out. Hope can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? I'm sorry if the camera went out. I don't know if y'all can still see me or not. But the thing about it is I lost my train of thought. I just lost my train of thought. Sorry about that. That phone call that came through on my phone just kind of somebody remind me what I was talking about. I completely forgot that quick. I I completely forgot what I was talking about. That phone call just completely threw me off. But I don't know, man. I don't know if I was talking about training camp or offensive line or whatever. I can't remember what I was saying. Okay, y'all can't see me, but you can hear me. Okay. I apologize, man. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cancel this stream right here, and then I'm going to fire it back up. So I think because of the phone call just came through, it kind of messed up my reception. So we'll pick back up where we left off in a minute, y'all. So y'all keep it locked right here. I'll be right back.